Hey, I'm holding my phone so I can record this real quick. Actually, it'll be a few minutes, but it'll be so worth the listen for yourself now or later, or maybe for somebody you know, love, care for, whatever, that may be going through something similar. Some things came to my attention in the last few weeks that have been nothing short of life-changing for me. I get emotional because of what I've gone through these last few years and what I just discovered and what's been happening. 2 weeks ago, I had a call with my ortho surgeon. He asked me, after I was describing what's going on with my coughing, with my pain, my muscle aches and pains, and I'll go into that shortly. But the question he asked me that became life-changing was, are you still on a statin? Oh my God. I'm going to preface this with, I'm not a medical professional, but I want to tell you my experience because, I don't know, it just may save someone weeks, years, months, whatever, of intense, unrelenting, unexplained muscle weakness, pain, that no medication seems to be able to relieve. I had what I believe to be unexplained joint pain. And you know what? Forgive me. I've got notes here because I wanted to write this out, and I did not want to miss anything about. Well, I know that there's going to be stuff I miss, but I didn't want to miss key parts of what I went through in the last 3 years that may be able to help somebody. But I had this unexplained muscle and joint pain and extreme weakness that left me feeling like the Tin Man in need of oiling. I mean, hubby said that one day. He goes, I feel like I'm the Tin Man and I just need a little oil in the joints and just to loosen up or whatever, you know. But I was like, oh my God, that is exactly what I felt like for the last 3 years. You know, tying my back pain, you know, having the back surgery and everything into all of that, aside from the back surgery, which took care of the back pain, the sciatica, which was excruciating in its own right, there was this underlying pain that came back. Let me tell you the story. I'm just going to read from this, and you'll sort of get it. Anyway, the 24/7 pain, I felt like something was extremely wrong deep inside my body. For me, there was no sitting, standing, or lying down in any position that took the pressure off of where I could feel comfortable for any period of time. The feeling was like it was contracting and then radiating intense pain in your muscles, deep in your muscles, and it was truly like unrelenting, unrelievable. There was no explaining it though. And when I was in a recliner, more often than not, I couldn't even close it, you know, to get up from the recliner using the side lever on my own. My arms did not have the strength to pull that lever in order to close the reclining, you know, so your legs go back down and everything. Even lifting my body out, you know, my husband would have to come over and help me out of the recliner, give me an arm so I could pull myself up and maintain some sort of dignity or whatever. Getting up from a sitting position meant radiating pain. I could see the birds flying over my shoulder here into their little house again. Anyway, getting up from a sitting position, there truly was no relief. And you know, I'm doing these videos and I'm acting like everything is great because once I'm up and moving, things are pretty good. You know, it's just that there's just these moments that daily, on the daily, and there's just such intense pain. But, you know, most people only see what you're showing, and what I would show to the public, to even family or friends. And my husband knew Neighbors, some of the neighbors knew, they'd see me getting up and I'm like an old lady getting up out of a chair or whatever, but anyway, it would take everything I could to summon the courage to start walking again, knowing that my hips are going to be the next in the sequential pain. Oh my gosh, it was like you're getting up, you're using all of your strength in your arms and legs and body in order to lift yourself out of a chair, and then sometimes needing the arm of my husband to help pull myself up. And that's what I think canes and walkers are probably good for some people. I wasn't ready for that yet. But, that the pain, it just seemed like something in my hips or something was out of alignment too when I would be walking so stiffly, the first few steps before regaining what would seem like a normal gait. That was my norm for the past 3 years. But unbeknownst to me at the time, it was likely also the catalyst that led to my decision for back surgery. I truly believe that everything was tied to the pinched nerve and that issue that I was having. But immediately after the L5S1 microdiscectomy, I had no pain in my rear end. No pain. Well, okay, technical term, buttocks. I had no pain in my buttocks. I had no pain from sciatica radiating down my leg. Perfectly painless for about 6 to 8 weeks. And about 3 weeks after the surgery, I think it was about 3 weeks, I caught a cold and a cough that seemed to linger. And on a follow-up call with the ortho doc, I mentioned having a cold and a lingering cough, and he commented something about being careful with the coughing because it could cause re-injury this early. And a few weeks later, bam, I wonder whether that had happened. My cough was still there, but with added muscle and joint pain and extreme lack of muscle strength. Extreme, I'm talking extreme. Getting yourself in and out of a car, a truck. My husband's truck is lifted, and trying to pull myself into it. He'd push me sometimes into his truck. These are things that not everybody saw or was aware of when you put that smile on your face and you get out there. But I was basically learning to live with the pain and the weakness, taking a lot of over-the-counter stuff, Aleve, naproxen, ibuprofen, whatever, Tylenol, the 8-hour arthritis, to provide some relief. None of it really helped with the pain, though. I mean, yeah, it may have masqueraded it a little bit, but there was a pain deep, deep down inside. And I don't think anybody, unless you've lived with pain, unless you've lived with it, I don't think you can understand what that is like, But anyway, 90 days post-surgery follow-up call with my doctor. I mentioned the joint and muscle pain again to him and the weakness, and telling him again about feeling like the Tin Man needing oiling. What he said next changed everything. To say that I was grateful for his listening skills would be an understatement. He asked me if I was still taking the statin, and he clarified it, and he mentioned the drug name, and I said yes. And he suggested that I speak to my primary care doctor about it. And he also prescribed physical therapy to regain my core strength. And for that, I agreed. I mean, I'm ready for that. I know I need that after these 3 years. But I also know, excuse me, I gotta wipe a tear. I didn't bring any tissues out, but I didn't think I need them. I thought, I'm just like better and happy. But, when you relive that pain, oh my gosh. And that's why I wanted to write this down and to get this out there, was because I felt it might be important to somebody somewhere. And I'm sorry for the length, but I do feel that this might help somebody. If it does one person, it's worth it. Anyway, 2 days after talking to the ortho, immediately made an appointment with my primary. 2 days later, met with her, and she ordered cholesterol testing for a new baseline and had me stop the statin that I was on, along with another med, just for 30 days to see if that may have been the cause of what was going on. Let me tell you, by the second day, relief from the pain. Relief. The third day, I had no pain, and I started getting muscle strength back. After 1 week, I felt I'd unaged 20 years. I mean, right now, I feel like I can run and jump and do a cartwheel again, though I haven't tried. But that's how I feel again. I mean, it's like you just unwound aging, the time clock or whatever. And I now look back on those 3 years of unrelenting pain and muscle weakness. I replaced some of the moments where I, maybe drinking a little more alcohol, thinking it would help relieve the pain, or around the house, not dusting and turning all those wine bottles like I used to, because moving and bending would hurt. I mean, we went quite the collection of wine, not bottles, just wine in them even. But not dusting down the regular furniture, washing the baseboards as often as I used to, because bending, stretching, lifting, reaching, all the things that were so normal just, years earlier caused so much pain, and the muscle weakness and not being able to do much, lifting yourself up from a seated position on the floor. You'd get on all fours, turn around and try to move your body, and it wasn't happening. Thankfully, my husband's been all over that, though, as far as the housework and stuff. He's like a Mr. Clean all his life, and he would never let any dust settle under his feet, literally and figuratively. So our home's been fully maintained in the area of cleanliness, too. But struggling to walk stairs, get in and out of vehicles, go to the mall, grocery shop, truly was difficult for me. And those, unless you were up close and personal on the day-to-day, you probably didn't know. Most of my neighbors were observant in areas where I struggled to get in and out of a vehicle, in and out of a chair, not being able to sit in a low-level chair. An Adirondack, forget it. I used to love those and forget that now. But I just had to sit in firm, stiff, uncomfy appearing seats, and only for short periods of time. I think back also to travel during a family time. My father and stepmom and their passing, and the weeks prior to that, blessed to have spent the time with them. But having to make a decision where you have to pick the lesser evil of airport travel, where walking, standing, sitting are pretty much governed, or you drive 1,200 miles each way, where at least you can sit and stand when needed, but it'll take considerably longer. There's no right answer, because it all brought extreme pain. One of my regretful moments, though, where it took every bit of strength just to go out with friends one night. I'd not seen them in quite some time. I was present, but not able to jump up and dance with them. And when I could barely walk or sit in a chair, forget grooving even in the chair. You couldn't even do that to really enjoy yourself. Though I'm grateful for the memories, I do feel I was robbed of those moments and so many more. 3 years. And I always thought it was the initial back pain and surgery would fix everything. It did. Surgery truly did give me such relief. And that was the back pain, the buttocks pain, the sciatica. But who the heck would have guessed that medication that was supposed to help with controlling cholesterol was stealing the life from my life. I wonder how many others this is happening to. Among the side effects, I'm going to tell you the medicine. And I'm going to spell it because I'm not sure the pronunciation. atorvastatin. Atorvastatin. I use the spelling. One of the side effects states arm and leg pain, along with frequent urination and UTIs. And, that's just a very mild explanation of 3 years of my pain. And what I look at is like true suffering. And oh my God. Let me tell you about where my cough came from. Remember I mentioned the cough and how the doctor said, be careful with that cough because it could cause re-injury so early after surgery? I thought it was from a lingering cold from 3 weeks after the surgery. Nope. It was the other med I was on. Ironically, I was talking to someone the other day at the post, and being near the kitchen area, I stepped away when my coughing started and mentioned to her that there was no need to be concerned that I wasn't sick. I wasn't contagious. I mentioned to her it was likely med-related. First thing out of her mouth, she asked if I was on lisinopril. Lisinopril, to be specific. And she said her husband was taken off of it because of a cough he had gotten that would not go away also. I was stunned. That was the medication that I was on. That's where my cough came from. Weeks after being removed from these medications, I'm fine. I just want you to please note these medications and symptoms are what I experienced. Just know you may not be suffering from an aging body like I thought I was. It may be the meds that are supposed to be saving you that are causing you true issues. But I do urge you, no, I'm not an experienced medical professional. This is my experience. But I urge you, if you're experiencing or notice someone you love experiencing any loss of normality, not moving at the same pace, please thoroughly review all the meds being taken with a primary care doctor. It may save years of excruciating pain, unnecessary discomfort, and it could help result in their wine bottles getting dusted, turned, and drank more often. I'm going to say cheers to your health and mine. Honestly, oh, God, this is terrible. It has been an emotional and physical roller coaster for a number of years. So very grateful I have my answers. Now when I go back to the doctor, hopefully the cholesterol levels will be where it needs to be, no kidney and liver issues or whatever that I would need any other medications for, and I can just live life with an occasional aspirin and a cocktail to relieve any pain versus being on a pharmaceutical arraignment of drugs. I truly have to ask whether Big Pharma is aware or knowingly even trying to keep us medicated. Grateful for the medications that are out there for some of us that need them, but for some of us it just causes more damage than good. Glad to have found my answers and to have part of my normal life, for what it's worth, back. Hey everyone, thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye on your health and those that you love. More next time.